All right. So this is about Total Drama World Tour. The reason why I did Total Drama World Tour in this video specifically is because I just mainly I felt rewatching it again. I think it's the best season of Total Drama, and today I'm going to talk about some of the aspects why I think it is. This video is not going to be exactly as long as the other ones, primarily due to the fact that I've been really busy in life. I don't really like it when people say that they've been busy, but school has become like a lot bigger of a priority within my life over the past week or so. Well, actually, over the past month. But I think point number one, let's hop into it. Point number one is that one of the main reasons, I think the primary reason I like this season in particular is because of the sense of grandeur. Now, what do I mean by grandeur? I mean, they take a lot of showmanship within this season in particular. Like they make it more extravagant. I think that's a good word to use, actually, extravagant. And the thing about it being extravagant is, some ways in which you can see that it's extravagant is the setting is literally across the entire globe. So, that's a lot more bigger. I think incorporating the aftermath element from last season, Total Drama Action, into this season was one of the main reasons why this sense of grandeur was so big. And the reason why the sense of grandeur is so good for the perspective of the show is because since it's reality TV, it sort of blows things out of proportion. So I think leaning into that aspect where it's just blowing everything way out of proportion, I think that's actually good for the show because, you gotta stick to what you're good at. I think Island was a perfect season I think it was a pretty good season for what they did originally, which is more of a slice of life, more down to earth version. Like a lot of the cast members were a lot more down to earth or maybe even cynical perspective. I think both of those are something you can see within the cast members and the character arcs of the first season. But within this third season here, you have people playing the game more broadly. The emphasis is on the game more. You can see people making their votes, and the reason why this adds to the grandeur is because it's more about the overall plot line rather than in action where there was so much that was just in between that it didn't really add much to the plot line, so you didn't really get much out of it. Dang. I had a few notes. Hang on, I'm gonna check it. Okay, so there's also a bigger impact on winners and losers. I think what I meant by this is the emphasis on the game, like I mentioned previously in the last clip. Since there's such an emphasis on the game, you can definitely see these things, like there's a split in the cabins between the winner's compartment and the loser's compartment. And the thing about that is that it adds to a lot more of the strategy talk. Like you can see Heather go back into the loser's compartment to talk with DJ, and I don't know, especially in the final four, where they choose who to bring up to the winner's compartment with them and who to leave behind in the losers compartment. There's a lot more complex strategy at play. So winning also gets you the ability to the ability to talk with one person more and strengthen an alliance with them, but also it makes it a bit harder to get with all those other people, to talk with all those other people. And I find that fascinating, just how they game plan that. I think it does a big deal. It adds a lot more emphasis on who wins the challenge, because not only do you not get eliminated, but you could potentially further understand or buy a vote for somebody else to get eliminated within that episode. So, it gives you a lot of headway, which I think winning the challenge definitely should be. That's why I never really liked reward challenges, but even the reward challenges in this, even though it's a reward challenge, like for example, in Newfoundland, once DJ won in Newfoundland, he was up there with Alejandro, and that caused a lot of drama within the cast. So the reward challenge thing is a lot more acceptable, in my opinion, at this point, because of that aspect. That stuff actually gets to moving, and that I think that's works really well. I think this season has a lot more momentum because of that. And I think that's what a total drama season should aspire to be. Or, sometimes Total Drama Island doesn't have momentum, even though it is a good season. But it sort of shows two, specific, ways that you can craft a good season. And the last one I thought of was creative direction. So since the setting is all over the world, they needed to take a lot more creative direction with this season in particular. And I think that went really well, because every single location you need to create a new set of assets, backdrop, unique challenges specifically to those places, so you need to stylize it more. And the thing that makes it so special, that I like so much about it being stylized, is because we get a lot more vibrant colors, vibrant backgrounds. Going to places like Hawaii and Egypt are a lot different from Camp Wawanakwa, so you gotta change it all up. And since I really like that, because sorry. I really like that because it shows a lot more effort being put in the show, which is always a plus. It visually looks better, and I think it is constructed better as a season because of all that stuff that is put together. Because there's a lot less out of place stuff that there was maybe in Action, that just didn't really seem like it fit, just stylistically, because they sort of just copy and pasted some of that assets from the other season. So this jump definitely shows a big progression in the series, and we always love to see it. So I want to know your reasons why you like Action, or maybe why you don't like Action. I know that there's a lot more people that don't like Action nowadays, but I think most people are really trying to stand out. But I'd like to hear your opinions on this. Sorry for the short upload. I'll try to do my best next time. I'm thinking about maybe doing something with Danganronpa, but that might be a bit cringe. All right, see ya.